What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into the channel. My name is Rock Soldier, and today we're going to be reacting to Bandito by 21 Pilots off the Trench album. And I know we're getting close to wrapping up the album, man, so I'm super excited to check out these last few songs off the album, man. But right now, we got Bandito. We're going to hop right into this thing. Let's get it.
I could take the high road, but I know that I'm going low. I'm a bandito. Between two places where we used to be and where our blood needs to be. I could take the high road.
This has like such like a almost like a slower pace than like most of the album, right? And I really like the depiction here in the image, right? This definitely shows like the Banditos standing over the trench, which I believe was shown. Was it Nico and the Niners? Is that the one where he makes his attempt through trench and gets dragged back, or is it Jumpsuit? I can't quite remember, but one of the music videos, right, they kind of show this image and Tyler looks up. I believe it's when Blurry Face is coming back to, you know, drag his ass back, and he looks up and kind of sees all the Banditos, right, all the love and the support system, right, and the others rebels who want to escape Dima, right, and just kind of sees that support, right. So obviously the song is kind of describing maybe not necessarily what it is to be a Bandito, but like maybe his realization of having to become a Bandito, right, become this rebel. Obviously they repeat a lot, I could take the high road, but I know that I'm going low. I think this could be both metaphorical and kind of literal in sense of the story of Trench and Dima, because I believe in the same music video, or maybe it's not the same music video, I don't know, kind of got it mixed up already, but in one of the music videos they show him escaping through the tunnels, so I think it could be kind of literal as to of how they need to escape Dima, right? But the line I found most interesting here was in the first verse where he says he says, so this is the sound we make when in between two places. Kind of, I think, kind of talking about Trench, right? Because Trench is kind of that last barrier of like the final escape of Dima, right? So, you know, metaphorically being the last obstacle to being like in good mental health versus like, you know, bad mental health, kind of, right? But he says, so when in between two places where we used to bleed and where our blood needs to be, right? So I feel like he's almost kind of saying like you almost kind of like need to touch the darkness to find the light, almost kind of in that kind of type sense, but I could be wrong there. But I really like the pacing of it. It's very slow, very melodic. It almost has like a feel of like a closer for the album almost, right? But obviously we still have a couple more tracks, right?
Where we used to be and where our blood needs to be. I could take the high road, but I know that I'm going low. I'm a bandito. I could take the high road, but I know that I'm going low. I'm a bandito. In city, I feel my spirit is contained. like neon. Inside the glass, they form my brain. But I recently discovered it's a heatless fire. Like nicknames they give themselves to uninspire. Began with bullet, now add fire to the proof. But I'm still not sure if fear's a rival or close relative to truth. Either way, it helps to hear these words bounce off of you. The softest echo could be enough for me to make it through.
Yeah, I gotta say, the part that really throws me off about this verse, right, is that it's kind of like that voice, right, that blurry faced voice that we've seen in some other tracks, kind of, you know, speaking behind Tyler's voice too, and that's kind of what's throwing me off about this verse specifically. And there's two parts about this verse, man, that I think are dope, right? The first part is at the beginning, where he says, I feel my spirit is contained like neon inside the glass. They form my brain, but I recently discovered it's a heat fire. And I don't know if we quite touched on that when we reacted to Neon Gravestones, right? But like neon obviously shows us this very bright, attractive, illuminating light. But like he just said, it's a heatless fire, right? There's no real inspiration or passion that comes with it. It's kind of like a false sense of hope almost, right? So I kind of like that there's kind of like almost like some clarification there with that. And then the other part is this fucking probably one of the deepest lines I've actually read from them on the screen. But I'm not sure if fear's a rival or close relative to truth, right? Is fear something that we should just be opposing? Right? Should we just be afraid of fear or giving into fear? Or are we afraid of the truth, right? Is fear close to the truth, right? Maybe in this sense, maybe like death, right? Like kind of accepting the truth that, you know, we're all going to die at some point, right? So do we be afraid of that because it's fear, right? It is, you know, it's just fear and it's scary, or are we afraid of it because it is the truth, right? You know, it's a real thing that is going to happen, right? I mean, like what a line though, right?
Fire to the proof, but I'm still not sure if fear's a rival or close relative to truth. Either way, it helps to hear these words bounce off of you. The softest echo could be enough for me to make it through. I created this world to feel some control. Destroy it if I want. So I sing sorrow, falling down, sorrow.
You know, to be honest, I feel like this part would make so much more sense to me if I knew what Salo Folina, right? I think one thing I've always kind of found a little cool about Tone Pilots is that they like to, you know, incorporate some other languages every now and again, right? They've used Spanish before in some songs. I'm forgetting what song, but I know in Tearing My Heart, I believe they start beginning, I believe, what is it, Japanese, I think? They have some kind of language at the very beginning of that. So I've always liked how they kind of like incorporate other languages, but I don't know what language this one is, and I definitely don't know what it means. But what I do like about it is that I created this world to feel some control, destroy it if I want. Right? This whole world of Dima and you know, the bishops and the banditos really was just kind of created probably as a way to just have some say over, have some control, right? Because that's what a lot of us want, right? Is just just be able to control, you know, a lot of things, and this is a good way of making it make sense and kind of understandable, and it can definitely be relatable. On top of that, I mean, it's great lore. I know the fan base absolutely loves this story, and they've just done such a good job with the story, man. I just remember around this time the album came out, like all the little interactive things they were doing for the fans, man. I just remember how deep it got. Like they did like what was it, like a 21 question, like a 21 clue type thing, and like you had to get to the end of it or some shit like that. Me and my sister tried. We got to like 3, and we're stumped after that. Like it was over, man. But I've always appreciated this level of intricacy that they brought to us and provided for us, because I feel like it really has meant so much to us and you know, the entire fan base, that, and you can kind of see like the level of work that they put into it, and through that level of work that we saw them put into it, we kind of realized that like, hey, this is like they're being 100% real, right? Like this is a relatable, real thing that they're going through, right? So you know it means so much to them, and they know that it means so much to us, and I've always appreciated that fact. I like the drums in this part. Alright, so that was Bandito by 21 Pilots, man. I gotta say, I loved it, man. I wasn't too sure because it, you know, I tend to, some of their slower songs is kind of hit or miss for me sometimes in terms of like how much, you know, I'll actually listen to them after the fact, right? But no, I like this one, man. I mean, I think it had a good progression, man. It had good sound, and I like the delivery of it, man. It felt really kind of intricate and kind of emotional, you know, to a sense, right? And you know, I just love, you know, the message and some of the intricacy and some of the lines they put in there, man. That line in the second verse where he said, you know, I don't know if fear is a rival or just close relative to truth, man. Like I said, that had to have been one of the most deepest lines I've heard from them, man. I gotta say, you know, overall, I certainly enjoyed this track, and hopefully you guys did as well. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, hit that sub button, hit that bell, and we're dropping the next one. That's all I got for you guys for now. It's your boy Rock Soldier. Hope you have a great rest of your night. I'm better tomorrow. Talk to you guys in the next one. Alright, guys. Peace.